And hey, everybody, welcome to That's Good Stuff, the show where we take deep dives into pop culture's newest releases. And that release this time is Deadpool and Wolverine, a story of two special Canadians as they make their way into the world and try to find Wolverine's family. Okay, that's not what the movie's about at all, but we will get to it. So, Deadpool and Wolverine, directed by Sean Levy, and starring, of course, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, and a bunch of cameos that we'll get into. So, spoilers, right? I'm gonna put the spoilers right away because we're just gonna get right
Spoiler
into it.
flag thrown.
So Deadpool and Wolverine takes place in a couple universes, but to start off, we go to the Logan universe, if you remember that movie, where Logan had sacrificed his life for X-23, and Deadpool arrives at the start of the movie looking for Logan, and he's dead, and he unburies him and plays with his skeleton.
Unburies him.
The TVA shows up, if you remember them from the Loki series, and Deadpool goes to town and doing what Deadpool does, making jokes and making blood. So finally, he stops his bloodshed so we can get the backstory. And the backstory is Deadpool is a sad guy because he's kind of lost his direction in life and he's lost his girl. And he went to the Avengers to try to sign up. Somehow he can go to different universes. He went to the Avengers and he's like, sign me up. And Happy Hogan was there. And he's like, no, thanks. So then the TVA show up and they're like, hey, you're a special guy. And we're going to blow up your universe, but we'll keep you around because I don't really understand the logic of that, but that was okay. Um, Deadpool. Deadpool thinks he's special, but they tell him, nah, there's these anchor guys that hold universes together, and once they die, the whole universe kind of goes, you know, disappearing. And for Deadpool's world, whichever that one is, 11 something, for Deadpool, that was Wolverine. And when Wolverine died in Logan, his universe is threatened with extinction. Normally that happens slowly, but the TVA guy who's in charge thinks he can make it happen fast, and that will, impress his supervisors. So Deadpool has his mission. He's got to go find a Wolverine and save his world. And on the way, he meets a lot of Marvel characters, mostly from the Fox X-Men universe, but there are some other ones that we'll get into. And he finds his Wolverine eventually, and they are on a mission to stop the TVA's plan. So that's kind of the broad outline of the movie. So what did you guys think before we get into all the spoileries and all the fun, all the good best jokes you guys thought of, all the music? Um, what did you actually think of the movie? Like, how hyped were you going into this movie? Let's start with that. Michael?
I feel like my hype level was pretty tame. Like I feel like this was gonna be good, which I think it was. I think it was really good. But I was like, this isn't as Deadpool constantly jokes the Jesus Christ of Marvel movies or anything like that.
Yeah.
It didn't like save anything for me. Even though everyone was saying, "Oh, this is gonna revamp everything, bring back everyone, everything's gonna be amazing," and la 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 la. But I enjoyed the movie a lot. I thought it was really fun. I enjoy the fact that they didn't spoil a lot in the trailers because every trailer you get nowadays is just like, "Hey, here's the whole movie. Now go watch a longer version of your trailer." This was actually, you just see little goofy bits in the trailers. And like, I went in and I was like, I don't really know what's happening in the story. So getting that kind of, hey, your universe is ending, but you're allowed to move over there because it's kind of a whole meta joke, which is actually pretty funny. Going off of that, also that happy scene where he goes and talks to him, and it's almost like he's talking to him about Kevin Feige, and you're kind of like, where is the fourth wall here? I'm kind of lost. So that's kind of like the whole movie is hey, you lost Fox. Fox died and lost you, and so you're being brought into the Disney Marvel. So that universe is dying, but we're going to use that as the actual plot point of our movie. I was like, that's a very fun way to play with Deadpool's breaking the fourth wall, which he does constantly, but actually take it to the broader term of the plot. But no, I had a lot of fun with this. I feel like it did a great job seeing a different Wolverine, which I appreciated a lot because you get the same kind of heroish Wolverine. But this one's just kind of like, hey, this is a not a Wolverine people are not so fond of, and we're gonna figure out why and do a little thing. So I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. Thought it was really really good. Had a lot of fun with it, and yeah.
Thomas, what was your mindset going into this movie?
I mean, I don't think I was as hyped for this one as I was for like two, I guess. Just because it had the Marvel sticker on it. I was like, but I was appreciative of kind of the love that they showed the old Fox movies. Because I mean, those were like the movies I grew up on, and so I kind of have a fond memory for those. Even though the like 2 out of 3 are not good, but it's still a lot of fun to watch them. The the chemistry between Reynolds and Jackman is great because I mean, kind of translates to from off screen to on screen, I guess. Uh, I was shocked at how much they got away with, honestly. Just because this is a Marvel movie, and I was okay. Wow, they're not afraid to go that far. Now they didn't go as far sexually as they did the other ones, which I was kind of appreciative because it gets a little much sometimes, and I'm just like, okay, that's a lot. But
I think even the violence was a little not as extreme.
at
It,
times, yes, but
I think
I,
it was more cartoonish violence
yeah,
than it was like in Deadpool 1, I would say. Deadpool 1.
yeah. But I will say that one of the bloody scenes is the Honda Odyssey scene, and I got a really bad bloody nose the moment that happened. So I was like, oh, cool, 4D, awesome, sweet. It's the experience. And so, but yeah, no, I enjoyed it, but I would have to say this is probably the weakest of the storylines for all three. So,
Yeah.
but it does make up for it with like the characters. So I was happy with it. Um, Probably the best Marvel movie that's come out in a while, sadly enough. Uh, but something I did kind of think about now that a certain somebody apparently is back in the MCU. Um, the whole thing with Chris Evans being sorry, spoilers for all that. Chris Evans being both Captain America and Human Torch. Well, now I guess maybe they wrote that in to bring back someone else as another character. I don't know specifically if that's the reason why, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on bonus stuff. So
Okay.
catch that show. Jerry,
On Fridays. Yeah.
yeah. Jerry, what were you thinking?
I was super hyped before it came out, and then didn't really like the beginning. Like I was like, do I like this? And then at the end, I was like, I do like this. I thought it was the most competent thing Marvel has done in a while. The most like put together thing. I thought a lot of the jokes landed. I know a lot of people hated it or didn't like a lot of the jokes. I thought a lot of them hit. There was a lot that didn't hit because they were trying to joke like every second. A lot didn't hit. The first when I watched the beginning, I was like, my God, they are making Joseph mad. He is hating this because they had NSYNC and they had just like having fun. I was like, man, he must be hating this.
You're right. Joseph hates fun. That's true.
I was like,
yes.
I was like, I'm loving this. I like Deadpool. Like I've liked him from the comics. I've liked him a long time, and Joseph's hated him for a long time. He still hates him. I like NSYNC. I was like, yes, I like NSYNC. I like him more than Backstreet Boys.
Dang.
That's fair. That's fair.
And go ahead.
I was gonna say I did have a moment after we got because I went to theater with Johnny, Ari, and Ben, and Alex and Anna, and we got out, and I was just like, as a society, we allowed them to dance on stage like that. We allowed that music video to become a thing to where it's that known that however many 20 years later, whatever, it's in this movie. And I was just like, I was just watching. I was like, "This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life." It was just
Not only that, but they were cool, Michael.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was the thing, and I was just like, I was watching Deadpool do it. I was like, yeah, this fits here, but this was the early 2000s, like, or whatever the heck that was. I have no idea, but man,
late 90s.
early, yeah, that area. I was having a little time jump, mind blown action during the movie, but anyway.
I didn't mind the story. I thought it was okay for like, I mean, like going off Disney for like the last 2 years, they've been really like stupid and like I have hated them for what they've done to Star Wars and like, and this I was like, that a good job.
There's that part where they give Deadpool the new suit and everything else, and like they're like, "Oh, you're gonna be part of the Avengers," and he's like hits the cameras like, "F you, Fox! I'm going to Disneyland."
I'm sure we're gonna say a lot of jokes, but I liked them a lot. And I really liked Hugh Jackman as Wolverine again. I like seeing the montage of that. There is so many, like Michael is saying, they were really held back on like spoilers, I feel like, in the trailers, and like I didn't know any of these cameos were coming, and I was like, what the whole time.
I did not one,
especially like one of the Wolverine cameos. I was like, he's in here.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. I was like, huh.
I got spoiled.
Really?
The legends are true.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I was just watching EFAP, or not EFAP. What is that other show with Drinker?
Oh,
Open Bar.
Open Bar. I was just watching them talk about it, and I like when they're like, I like Drinker's like, let's say our fun and like how much we had fun because we know Mahler's just gonna tear it apart. But I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I don't think it saved anything. And I did think like, I think my hopes were a little high. Like before, I thought it was going to be like a huge story, and it wasn't that. It's just more multiverse stuff, and I was like a little disappointed, but I liked it.
All right. Speaking of Mahler, Joseph, why did you hate this?
I didn't hate it.
What?
I don't like Ryan Reynolds. I don't like Deadpool. So yeah, I had those two going against me. But
do you like NSYNC?
I don't care for NSYNC. I don't hate them.
Oh God, he's a Backstreet Boy.
Yes. So,
or even worse, New Kids on the Block.
Going into this movie, I was like, I don't know. Wolverine's cool, and I think he totally steals the show from Deadpool at a certain point. I got like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 vibes from this movie, even before it and then after it, because it's kind of an end of a story. And I wasn't really expecting that from this movie because everyone's like, you know, this brings the X-Men into Marvel and this is, you know, saving Marvel. But for me, it felt like this was a funeral for 20th Century Fox heroes. And I just cannot see them like recasting Wolverine right away and bringing him in. It was just like, because it was such a good story of Wolverine leaving this, or Hugh Jackman leaving this character, because even at the end where he's like, I'll see you around, Wolverine, he's like, no. And it's like, no, I don't want him to bring him or recast him or bring him back.
Till he's 90, Joseph.
Yeah, till he's 90. And I don't want them to do their spin on the X-Men yet. I think it's just too early, which is weird because I really wanted them to bring him in like while Phase 4 was going on, because I was like, this sucks. But
you wanted anyone to come in during Phase 4, anyone to jump in and try and save this ship.
But yeah, I did enjoy all.
I said ship, Jared.
I know. I was like, did he?
Ship.
I did enjoy the jokes, but like Jared was right. Sometimes Deadpool just wears on you, his jokes especially. But there's a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of funny jokes. Like when he meets Wolverine and they're at the TVA and he's like, "You're joining on a kind of a low point." I mean, I cracked up in the theater and no one else did, so I was like, "Wow, are these all like super Marvel fans or something?"
I know. I thought all the like Disney and Fox, or like the fourth wall, like specifically towards that, was really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed those jokes, like the one you mentioned, and like, "F you, Fox, I'm going to Disneyland."
There was one joke that I was the only person that laughed, and I felt super awkward okay, Jared, it was like the German Shepherd type laugh.
I knew there were some jokes in there, like you and Carlos were like, "Oh yeah, yeah," it's just like, that's a little lowbrow.
So there's a part where they're at the party for Wade's birthday, and he's like, "So you're watching anything?" He's like, "Great British Bake Off." He's like, "Oh, that show saved me from unaliving myself several times," and I was the only one in the theater who went, "Oh!" I'm like, and it got awkward. I was like, I mean, yeah, that's
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I don't know. I saw this movie like I think this is the earliest time I've ever went to a movie. I went at 8:00 in the morning.
Oh my god!
Oh. What are you, a homeschooler in the mid 2000s?
So I went, but there was still a lot of people in there. I don't know where these people came from.
Mine was packed at 10:30. Like,
I was gonna say, I was at movie 16 on Sunday at like 9, and there's still people. I was like, man, this is making money.
Yeah,
you made a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I went to the Flix Brew House, which is our version of the Alamo Draft House. And we only got 15 minutes of commercial. I was like, yes, this is great.
Because I've been consistently complaining about Cinemark and how bad they are, because they're just like, here, we'll throw as many ads as we can because no one's going to movies. Like, we had maybe 4. It was amazing.
Really?
I was like, yes. And the movie started. I was like, yes. I'm not going to be here for another 45 minutes watching trailers that I've seen before.
I know. Nice. We only had 3 trailers. It was,
I think Alien was the most memorable one.
Not Ghostbuster, Beetlejuice.
I'm sorry, but
Beetlejuice.
That Alien trailer is stupid. They basically gave away the entire movie.
They really, it was.
It was so many scenes like,
why are you showing me that
movie?
Why?
Yeah, I was so pissed off because I can't turn away and like not watch it because I purposely not watched any trailers.
I was gonna say, put it in the bucket of popcorn.
Yeah.
He just puts it on that.
They basically gave away every single death in that movie.
Really
I was just like,
yeah,
I was like, okay, cool.
Hit the card up on your
bad
these trailers.
Yeah, are you trying to order something, sir? No, go away.
That Alien trailer got me a little disappointed because it seems like they're just doing the first one over again.
Pretty much. I mean, I will say I am impressed with the practical effects, though.
The atmosphere is awesome.
I mean, they have to bring it back from freaking Covenant. My God, that movie was terrible.
It's just the story, but we got to get back to Deadpool.
Sorry.
So, Jared, was that one joke your favorite joke?
Which one?
Was it the one where...
That's a lot, Joseph.
I know, but you gotta think of Jared, right? So it's said by Nice Pool.
Anything with Pikachu.
I'll give you that hint.
Nice Pool.
And then him and Deadpool are talking about breaking the fourth wall.
The proposal.
Oh. I've never seen The Proposal.
That was a funny joke.
Don't.
That's not how it works.
Last time I watched The Proposal was like about 2 months ago, and I got really drunk while watching it, and because I was packing.
Is that an excuse to watch The Proposal?
Well, I thought it would make it better, and it didn't.
It's not terrible, but it's not good.
It's borderline offensive. It's so weird.
Okay.
It's uncomfortably white, if that makes any sense. So.
The story of this movie was really dumb. Like I said, why even bring Deadpool? The universe is ending. You just brought the person that could destroy your whole plan into the universe. It's like, why? Why did you do that? And then the whole time they're giving you this story with Wolverine. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. He really screwed up his universe. So they're kind of like building it up. And I don't really mind what they went with. It just was kind of anticlimactic.
Especially if you've seen the cartoons or I thought they were building up to the
Old Man Logan storyline where he's the guy that kills the X-Men? I thought they were going to go that dark.
I know. I was like, oh, this is the one where he kills like everyone. That he did like he killed the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Like one of those storylines. And he's like, no, I just wasn't there. I was like,
Then he just went to the
Then
bar.
I went and killed a bunch of other people that didn't know had faces names. I was like,
No,
oh, okay.
it was super weird. Okay, let's get into some of those cameos. So super spoilers. So the internet was fighting about
when did they not?
who Lady Deadpool was going to be, right? And one half kind of nailed it. So it wasn't Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was in the movie. Her song was in the movie.
Oh,
Michael.
So it was Blake Lively's voice, but it was a stunt woman in the suit. So it kind of half righted.
Apparently, those were his kids too, as Teen Pool and
Really?
Baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his whole family was in it. And that dog is ugly, man. That's freaking.
And he just let it go to town on his face.
I know. He's like licking its tongue.
You gotta stop. Like, is that even like is the tongue wet because it's out of its mouth all the time? Is it just like a dry piece of sandpaper just going?
Oh, maybe.
It's just
It probably.
I guess he had the makeup on, so maybe he couldn't feel it. But I bet that's like scratchy. I don't know. I want to go kiss the dog.
I don't want to think about it.
Nathan Fillion was one of the pools.
He was the head pool.
And then Matthew McConaughey was.
I thought that was him.
That was awesome.
Really?
I was like, that sounds like him.
What else do we got? So
we got the main man in this movie, Joel. So I don't want to spoil what you were probably going to bring up next. But
no, you go ahead and spoil.
We got Blade.
Oh, Blade! Yeah.
When Wesley Snipes showed up, I was like, Jared's freaking out. I know Jared is freaking out right now.
I can't say the quote, but he was here.
Well, and the fact that he's like, there's only one Blade, and Deadpool's
yeah.
That was a good line.
So let's touch that for a second, because there were several of those moments, where I'm like, what are they trying to say? So that's a moment where it's like, I'm the only Blade, and then your mind goes, oh, they're having so many problems with the movie, and Deadpool looks at him like, that's number one. What the heck's going on there? Number two, spoilers for another cameo. Henry Cavill comes up in the montage of Wolverines. And he turns around, and then everyone freaks out, and Deadpool's like, "Oh, they chose him," or something like that. And you're like,
he was like, "We'll treat you better."
yeah, that. And
the other guys.
And then there's two more, and I'm drawing a blank on them right now. But I'm like, are you saying these things because they're actually happening? What I was like, what is going on here? Like the Wesley Snipes thing. I'm like, I told Ben, I was like, what if conspiracy theory, tin foil hat and a ball thrown out the window? What if like the whole controversy around the Wesley Snipes movie was all fake, and they were just bringing Wesley Snipes back eventually? I was like, that would be freaking not impossible. Yes, I know, but I was like, what? Like, but
don't get Jared's hopes up. Is what he doesn't want.
But I'm just like, what is the look like? What? There's so much to read into that. I'm like, is that real? Is it? And then there was.
I think they just told Ryan Reynolds to not hold back.
Yeah,
and just like make fun of us.
It's so weird. I'm like, man, that is there's so many ballsy things that I'm like, what the heck are you trying to? Are you actually saying things here? I can't remember. There are two more that I can't remember right now.
There's the great joke where Deadpool's like, "Hey, Paul Rudd's finally aged."
Oh yeah, I did.
But
like that one.
I was like, Wesley Snipes has not aged a day.
Dude.
He could be Blade. Just bring him back.
His body's like smaller.
Yeah,
you could tell that.
Well, he's in his 60s, Joseph. Give him some slack, man. He wasn't all that big to begin with.
So Jared freaked out with Wesley Snipes. Who else is in that crew? That's Jennifer Garner as Elektra.
Channing Tatum finally got his gambit.
He finally got
so bizarre, but he got his gambit.
I did like
his
that.
costume was terrible. I think he did that on purpose.
Every joke with him was hilarious.
I did like that. Pretty much every joke was like he just never maybe we're just like mourning something that never got to be. Who knows?
What the heck did you just say, sir? I didn't get a word of that.
He's like, you're just like me, but you didn't get what you wanted.
When they're in the car and it's like what Gambit was saying.
Let me try and translate this. But oh man, that was So because I've always that's always been the weirdest like not rumor casting, because it actually was like project to be that never came. But I was like, I could never picture it. So to actually see it on screen, I'm like, huh, interesting.
Maybe I did
Very
want
interesting.
I think the John Carter guy was probably better.
But Matthew
as
Mercer
Gambit.
needs to be a live action Gambit. He would be.
He's
I
too old.
tweeted
man.
that to him. I know, but I tweeted to him and he liked the tweet a long time
Gambit's
ago.
an older
I was like,
guy.
you've got to be because he has the voice, he has the look, the hair is perfect. I'm like, you would be perfect for Gambit, man.
He does have perfect hair.
Oh, it's
I
frustrating.
will give him that.
He has the voice, but does he have the accent? Can he do
He
that?
can do it. He can do anything.
Oh.
Yes, he can do
Man,
any accent.
voice wise, he can do
He
anything.
he can pretty much do any accent. Actually,
He's like
It's
Jerry
pretty-
Seinfeld.
We cut to Mercer like live, and he's just like, I can't do that.
That's the one I
Get to
don't
the voice,
have in my
man.
book.
So Thomas already brought up Chris Evans. That was funny because
That was awesome.
It was perfect.
Deadpool's expecting Cap, right? And I even thought he would say something like, "Well, that's not Cap language." When
Yeah,
Chris
because he looks at him, he's like,
swearing. So it's Johnny Storm, Fantastic
so
Four.
good.
Dude, his fall is like painful looking. Did you see that? His
And he
neck
survived somehow.
his spine just like went like this. Also, the fight scene beforehand was pretty great. I did
Yeah.
like that, and I did like, all right, nerds, get ready.
Oh yeah.
I
gonna
loved
be
all
good.
those references. He's like, we've been waiting 20 years for this. Everyone get ready.
Yeah.
Even that one where he's like, "Don't you fight Hulk here?" When he's like recruiting
Yeah,
Logan's.
he's just, oh no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that was probably the nerdiest part is that whole montage of finding.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
So we get the comic accurate.
That was amazing, man. The audience is like, ah.
It would have been funny if it was the Harry Potter guy. But
Oh,
That would
okay.
have been really
So
funny.
I did say to Alex, I'm surprised that they didn't have Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine.
Mhm.
Okay, so my viewing experience for this was kind of elevated by I was sitting by like these three Indians, like the country India, sorry, and literally they laughed at every single thing that happened. Like just their reactions was probably some of the best parts of the movie. Like anything Deadpool said, this woman was just like absolutely
That's the best.
dying. And she's like,
My
"Oh,
crowd, they only laughed at the physical comedy. I'm like, I'm laughing at the Marvel stuff.
are you 90?"
I did have some dude behind me who was the most like one word critique man of the trailer. I should have brought this up in the trailer section, but the trailer beforehand, it did I don't remember what was the first one. I think it was the I'll draw a blank on his name. Young Xavier. Why can I never remember
James McAvoy?
James McAvoy's
yeah, I
name?
never remember his name.
That-
I don't know why.
that
Oh, he gets away from me. That,
Doctor one.
the one where they like go on a trip
that
with another
cabin
family.
with
Yeah, the
the
cabin.
other
Yeah.
family.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And it ends.
He's
The guy
pretending
just
to be
goes,
somebody.
"Nope, not gonna happen." Then it goes to like Romulus or something, and he goes, "Trash." Like each one, he had some like quick quote to just sum up how he felt about what was happening in the movie. And I was like,
Wicked
this guy-
comes on. He's like, yeah,
I'm
we're
up
doing
for
it.
there was one movie he was down for, but I can't remember which one it was. But man,
Turns
it
out
was
it's just
like,
Joseph in the back, just like, oh, it's you.
Jeez, sir, chill.
What else was on the Logan montage? We got Age of Apocalypse. Wolverine was pretty cool.
Oh, is that the X one?
No, he's the
Oh.
one with
No,
the one arm.
Yeah.
And it, yeah,
remember that.
Which
the
one
X
was?
one was it's a famous comic cover.
That was cool
So
looking.
that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Which one was like the '80s one? The one with the like the cyberpunk one. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, he's like in the
He's
alleyway.
in the alleyway.
Oh, with
Yeah.
like a lot of hair.
I think
Yeah.
that's just 80s.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that
was-
this '80s Wolverine?
He looked like werewolf Wolverine.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
you have
that
Patch.
one cover you're talking about kind of ties into the news, doesn't it?
oh yeah, I guess.
Can't say anything on here. Apparently, I got to save it for bonus stuff. So
what were we gonna say? Oh, Patch, of course, is the eye patch, and he like runs a bar and on this little island. What else do we got to touch? Favorite scene? What was your favorite scene?
the whole thing,
Yeah,
probably the Honda Odyssey fight. I really
that
like that
was
one.
probably the
was
best
very
fight.
funny.
I do like
Yeah.
the Honda Odyssey just F's hard. Not as hard as we're going to, though. And then I just like at the end of the scene where they're both exhausted, he's like wrapped up in all the seatbelts.
I love Deadpool's relationship with what is her name? Himiko or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
I'm sorry you had to hear those
Sorry
nasty
this
words.
happened. So nice.
I like the blood splattering on the coexist bumper sticker.
Oh.
It's just like showing the van rocking, but it's like not the rocking of things going on.
I'm sorry. When they come out of the that portal almost at the end, oh god, that felt like a Kia. Oh god, that was a Kia.
Oh yeah.
Anyone else have a favorite scene?
Don't
I
know.
didn't like some of those hands in the face thing. I didn't like some of that.
Oh,
for the
I know
bad-
that
the bad
was-
guy wasn't very good. Again,
Really? Actually-
Marvel.
I thought the actress did well, but
Yeah, I mean, she was
Yeah.
fine. It
She-
was
I
just
thought
the
she was very,
story.
I'm just saying, like on a
Oh,
personal
yeah,
level, I don't like the
sticking
hands.
out of the eye, that was unpleasant.
you know,
That was
no.
funny. You can just ask sometimes, you know.
It's always okay, fine, hands in pockets.
What were you talking about?
Favorite scenes?
Favorite
Oh,
scenes.
favorite scenes.
I'm the only one that answered. Anybody
I
got
know
another
you
one?
did.
I feel like I
I
really,
kind of agreed with you, but
I feel like I really do like the scene where you realize it's not Cap and it's Johnny Storm, because I love that. He
Yeah.
just like says the D word and he just kind of looks at me like, what is happening? I guess he's so shocked. And he's like, oh, I like when Deadpool always does the
God, the skin part. It's like, whoa.
I know,
oh
it's like,
yeah.
I like when Wolverine breaks his arm during the Odyssey fight, and he's like,
oh, dude, there was okay.
Oh yeah. No,
Well,
no.
firstly, a child shouldn't be in a theater for this movie, but there was
No.
a probably
lot.
there's probably a 5 or 6 year old right behind us. He
Oh.
was dying laughing when he broke his arm, and he's just like, "Ah!" And he pulls him from the back of the car. Kid was crying laughing behind me.
That's very scary for the future.
I know, I'm like, I was gonna bring up
Yeah,
somewhere where it was.
Just going on the villains, didn't care. Like the TVA felt really out of place. They were just kind of cannon fodder.
They always do feel out of place.
Yeah. Cassandra Nova, I mean, she's not, like you were saying, she's not bad or anything. It's just the actual story she's in isn't that great. Like,
for
because
the- Xavier family, I prefer his son as the villain because he's not a villain. He's just, I don't know. His powers are, to me, are pretty cool. So
I think they should have just like left her, maybe like because they kind of come to an understanding when she throws them back, and then she shows up again. And it's
Flips
like,
on a coin really fast.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, you know what? I will destroy everything. Okay.
What about the end with like? So they have to make a sacrifice, right? And
Yeah.
Wolverine's like, "I'll do it. I got nothing out here." And Deadpool like locks him out, and he says, "I'm going to do it because I want to be a hero."
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of the when Wolverine's shirt just blows off.
Oh yeah,
He's like, whoa.
as soon as they said, "Oh, you're gonna have to go down there and do whatever," I was like, "Oh, they're both going down there, and they're just gonna survive." I was
I
like,
know it's so late. It
Dude.
was such a late setup.
Well, I do like that part. It's like, you won't survive. It's like, you know, we kind of have a regenerative ability. It's kind of what we do. We just kind of survive.
We're like cockroaches.
We're like cockroaches.
I actually thought Deadpool was going to be the only one that did it because he had seen the video of him with Thor. And so
Oh,
he
yeah.
realized he was in the future at some point.
Mhm.
So he was like, I'm
Why am I
fine. I
crying?"
make it through this.
Why is Thor crying?
"Why is
I know.
this crying?"
Why is Thor
It kept
here?
going through my head, like, which one's going to do it? Because Wolverine makes the most sense because he's part of the
Yeah.
like Fox universe and he can retire. But then it was like, oh, but it's Deadpool.
You don't want to kill Wolverine again,
Okay.
too.
We had to address the Deadpool fight scene though.
We need to address just Wolverine walking across with a dog. It's like the best
Yeah.
thing ever. He's just like, okay. He's
Sweet
just-
precious.
like, we can't shoot that thing.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nice pull got just
You'll just
yeah.
regenerate. Regenerate.
I just love it when he's holding his body just like when it's just getting shot like this. He's like, oh no.
I just like how they blame, like, for the point where Johnny Storm gets killed, and then whenever that guy dies, Wolverine's just like, "What the heck is
Oh, you
wrong with
merc."
you, man?" He's like,
The kid died. Kid, he was 50 years old.
Oh man.
You didn't die, you murdered him.
Then you get the extend. Did you guys stay for after the credits?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh,
I
the-
had to pee so bad. I was running out of the theater.
it shows when Johnny Storm actually said all that, or like, I don't know if Deadpool goes back and alters history or something, is what it seems like maybe happens.
No, he goes to the TVA and he watches a recording.
Yeah. Of
Of
Johnny
him
Storm
in
saying
that
all that.
cage. Yeah. And
And he's like, "Gotcha." But
All right. Anything else? The music?
One more thing was with Happy, and he's like, Avenger. You're the chauffeur.
Oh yeah.
I'm Avengers adjacent.
Yeah.
that was good.
Well, if I need any help parking a car, I'll give you a call. Also, well, I think that was also kind of an inside joke for everything too, because without Favreau, like, I mean, literally nothing. None of this would have existed. So it's kind of I think that was kind of a shot at that, which I liked. So
True. I kept waiting for when X-23 came in, and then the whole fight scene happens, and everyone gets their cool moment, and then Elektra gets like 3 seconds. But then, whenever I kept waiting for X-23 to do her scream as a kid, and I was like, she hasn't done it yet. And then the fight was like nearly ending. Then finally, whenever she goes after Juggernaut, she screams. I was like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, please, I need that little crazy Wolverine scream.
well, that part with Elektra, it's like, oh God, they killed Punisher.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and Daredevil.
Everybody's like,
What
Magneto.
Oh yeah.
No,
Say it's
he's dead.
Magneto.
No, the helmet's he's dead. The helmet's gone. Damn.
Wolverine's back there. They're like, yeah, we don't know where Johnny is. And he's just laughing, drinking the bottle.
Have you seen
He
him?
might still be alive. I like the which Punisher? There's been a bunch.
Been like 5.
Oh, what was I going to say? Anything else?
I don't know. I mean, I thought the ending was all right, just in general. Maybe not maybe not Cassandra Nova's thing, but like the just the what do you call it? The heart to heart at the end. I like that part where they all kind of
Yeah.
just hanging out. I mean, it's a very Deadpool thing to have.
Shawarma?
Yeah, shawarma's like, did you know the Avengers invented shawarma? But no, that part, but just when they're sitting around the table, just talking, I was like, that's kind of nice. I like this little quiet moment. So, and when Wolverine picks up the dog, like Jared's picking up the freaking kitten.
Talk to her.
Yeah, talk to the girl.
Oh.
So, it was a good ending.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, man. Hugh Jackman.
Raises too many questions, though. I'm like,
Yeah, it didn't answer a lot.
and it's really,
Unfortunately,
I'm like, who's in it? Who's not? Where are we going? What's happening? Because I actually care about these characters other than the ones we've had for 2 years.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on bonus stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'll be interested in your thoughts on all that stuff because we'll get to it.
It's weird. It's very weird. All right, Deadpool, Wolverine. I probably won't see it again. I'm not like hyped to see it again or something.
I've never seen any of the Deadpool movies more than once.
More than once.
That's not surprising because I don't watch a lot of movies more than once, but so I don't remember really the first 2 at all. I remember Josh Brolin. That's about it.
the only thing,
Jared's stuck in a prayer pose with a cat, by the way. Oh,
yeah,
there he goes. He's back.
the only thing is, I remember both Deadpools having moments where I was like kind of like having trouble breathing because I was laughing so hard.
What's going on, Thomas?
Yeah, no, I'm dying. The part in the second Deadpool where he gets chopped in half and he has the baby legs. I swear to God, I was having trouble breathing in the theater because I was laughing so hard. But I didn't have that in this one. So
yeah, the Deadpool 2 where they're all dying, X-Force
I
is
was
all
about to
dying.
say that's kind of reminiscent of what I was saying about them doing good with trailers because you thought the movie was the X-Force and 15 minutes into it, everyone's dead. You're like, what the heck is going on?
get out of there, Sugar Bear.
Genius. Oh man.
All right. So I
All
think that's
right.
going to do it for this time. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff. And we will see you next time.
Recording